Did you know that Andrew Weil turns 84 today? Do you even know who Andrew Weil is? If you don't know him, he is somebody who has made a big difference in the holistic community on health and aging and well-being. And as I was reading through some of his ideas on the way to healthy longevity, it reminded me of the things that I have learned over the years of my being in this industry. And also not just this industry, but this commitment to my own personal health and well-being. And I wanted to connect this to you because I know that each of these things that he really focuses on can make a huge impact in your life as well. And let's explore how to make it happen and the value of each one of them to a degree that you can start to make some shifts and changes if it's not already happening in your life. Hello and welcome to Say Yes to You and Why You Don't, for women who are great at saying yes to others, but not always as great at saying yes to themselves. I am Claudia Braun. I'm a mindset, I'm a lifestyle, and I'm an EFT coach for women ready to start saying yes to themselves. And this is my podcast, Say Yes to You. And I wanted to invite you to have a conversation with me. It is a consult because I was thinking that as we are going into a new season, coming to the end of summer, it's such a great opportunity to take stock. What's working, what's not working, how to get your own plan in place of these 5 things that we're going to talk about today. So the link is here for you, and just book a time that works for you. It is a really wonderful gift that you can give yourself, making time for yourself to look at yourself through a new lens. And it's a 30-minute consult that we will have together over the phone or over Zoom, which is ever most convenient for you. Do take advantage of that. So, interestingly enough, I thought when I was reading through what Andrew Weil prioritizes, and I thought it was interesting also, is that he started talking about these things in the late 50s. Now, the late 50s, I don't know if you know anybody who's in their 80s, most of those people were not really concerned with these things. They were definitely considered outliers, maybe more of the quote-unquote hippie culture. But the first thing he talks about is sleep and really prioritizing your sleep. And this is a conversation that I frequently have with my clients because particularly as women, when your sleep is not prioritized, you really mess up your own internal hormonal system, you mess up your digestive system, you mess up so many of your vital capacities because you need to restore yourself with sleep. And I see that many times people want to compromise their sleep and think that, oh, they're going to make up for it on the weekends. And it doesn't go down like that. Your body needs regularity. Your body needs some kind of regular routine that it can depend on. And particularly if you're somebody who's focused on weight loss, but it's not even just weight loss, it's overall well-being. And that really is the emphasis of Andrew Weil's message. And it's definitely been the focus of my work over the last 2 to 3 decades, I'd say, that I've been doing this work. And sleep is such a cornerstone and something that you can begin to focus on now and see what disturbs your sleep. I've talked about here about how important it is to get off your devices 2 hours before you go to sleep. And this is frequently a conversation that I have with my clients, is to not have their devices near their head when they're sleeping, not looking at their phones before they go to sleep. Because have you noticed how difficult it is to shut it down, how your mind is still going? I know it's true for me. If I ever get caught up in something on social media or start reading something too late into the time before I'm going to sleep, it makes my sleep so much more erratic. So it is such a great gift that you give yourself to shut down your devices. Keep them out of your bedroom, because if they're in your bedroom, you know how easy it is to reach over and just see what's going on in the world, or tap into social media, or, whatever it is that distracts you. And especially in the beginning, when you are wanting to establish sleep patterns, your sleep may feel like it's not consistent. And so in the middle of the night, you might be getting up, and it might be your mind invitation to, oh, it's a great time to catch up on things in social media or email or work or whatever, since you think, well, you're up anyway. But the more you can just allow your body to slow down, calm down. If you've been on a lot of caffeine during the day, you've been running on adrenaline, going from a meeting to meeting, conversation to conversation, looking at screens all day long, it takes a bit to slow your mind down, to slow your system down. And giving yourself permission and the space for that to happen is the key to your establishing patterns that set you up for health, well-being, and your own longevity. And that's the thing, is that these 5 things really are about establishing your own personal well-being and commitment to yourself. And here on Say Yes to You, it is about your commitment to yourself, because nobody else is going to tell you, oh, you need to prioritize yourself. Because if you're somebody who's giving, they're appreciating your giving. So your commitment to yourself is what shifts how things work out. The second thing that is so important that he talks about, and that I talk about, is that you need to eat to support your health. And like I spoke about last week, is that I know that when my eating issues and my focus on my weight were the main focus, it didn't go well. But when I started to focus on what is good for my health, what is good for my well-being, my mind shifted. And I started to look at what are healthy choices, not what's going to help me lose weight or calorie focused, but looking at foods through a different lens. And it also gets more interesting and more fun, and it will make it so much easier to move towards what you desire. Because when you see that, oh, these packaged foods, oh, these processed foods, oh, this level of alcohol, sugar, is not going to take me to kind of health and well-being that I am committed to, it makes it really easy to make different choices. And if you decide to do things that are not in that way, you know that you're making a decision that's going to take you in the other direction. And then you might say, okay, you know what, this time I'm doing that. But overall, my commitment is towards my goal. And that's the thing, is that you want to be moving towards your desire, as opposed to saying, I'm not going to do that, because you know the line, the more you resist, it persists. So it's not about what you're not doing, it's about what you're going towards. You're going towards your health and well-being, you're going towards your own longevity, you're going towards feeling good every day, you're going towards waking up and feeling alive and connected, and your body feeling good. If you're somebody who wakes up in the morning and your body aches and your joints hurt, or you're slow moving, I mean, you know the difference between when you've made good choices the day before and when you haven't. So this is really giving you an opportunity to say, what am I really moving towards? What do I really want? So the first thing we just said was your sleep, right? The second thing is eating to maintain your health and well-being, as opposed to what just tastes good in the moment. Because The mind wants a quick fix, which is why social media is so attractive, right? It's just like something immediate to shift your attention. You feel pain, you feel sad, you feel worried, you feel anxious. You use social media to take yourself out of it. But when you're eating to maintain your overall well-being, you're making choices that are for your health and wellness. So first is prioritizing your sleep. Second is healthy eating for your health and well-being. And also, I just want to say, it doesn't mean the food doesn't taste good, because I do eat for my health and well-being, and I think the food tastes really good. It is really shifting your internal system so that you awaken your senses to be able to taste the truth of food. When I first start working with people and we're changing their eating, they're kind of like, it takes them understanding that, wow, they have not been really tasting food because so much of the things they were eating were processed. And when they start to take the processed foods out, they're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize how amazing these vegetables are and how amazing this food is when it's just well prepared. So it's shifting what you think is good, and your body will know. Little kids, I see it in my nieces and nephews, like they want fruit, they want healthy food initially. And then they learn to adjust to artificial sugars and chemicals, and so then that's what they're drawn to. But initially I see they're really drawn to natural fruits and vegetables. So your natural inkling may not be known to you because you've been so used to feeding yourself processed foods. And that's an opportunity to awaken your senses, and it's a really fun process if you're willing to give yourself that. The third thing is movement that he talks about, and I fully believe in this as well. Like I said, I shared last week about when I really got rid of going to the gym and committed to doing yoga and walking, I found my enthusiasm and joy truly increased. You are a body that's meant to move. We all have bodies that are meant to move. Our joints are meant to move. And if you've got a job where you are focused on your screen for 8 hours a day, that's a lot of non-movement. And the counter to that is you may not be moving for 8 hours of the day, but you need to have time in your day where you are moving. And maybe in that day of 8 hours of sitting at a screen, you're up and about and you are having more conversations where you are just giving yourself permission to walk over to get water, or you're walking outside, or you're taking a break and walking around the block. I mean, you're doing things where you're actively making movement a commitment that you make. And I know when I did work in an office, how much I focused on making sure that I got a walk in at midday, and how much I went and spent time outside, because too much time in artificial lights, it starts to affect you. So perhaps if it's not currently a commitment that you're making, consider taking it on, and it is really easy to adopt small practices. If you're driving, you park somewhere and you park further away from your destination. Or instead of driving, you walk to your destination. But you put into your day time to move. You get home from work or after dinner or whatever, you take time and you make stretching a part of your day. The more that you can give yourself windows, pockets where your body is moving, the better you are going to feel. And it's very easy to take 5 minutes of every hour and move about, but it is about what you're committed to. So the fourth thing that he talks about, I just want to make sure that I don't miss it, so I'm just leaning down a little bit, is to protect your curiosity. And I love this because again, I feel like this has been such an important cornerstone to me in my practice. And I see that my clients who are willing to do this are so much happier. Protecting your curiosity means staying willing to be a learner, staying willing to be somebody who is interested in your world, who has new hobbies, has new focuses, is willing to explore, is willing to have interesting, different ideas that get cultivated based on your own internal desires. And you cultivate the flame on those, giving yourself permission to travel, to see other cultures. And sometimes, traveling can be just going to visit a community in your city, in your state that's different from yours. I mean, it can be international travel, it can be domestic travel, it can be in your state. I know that for a while when I was doing some, what Julia Cameron called artist dates, like I would just go and take myself into the city, and I go to different neighborhoods and I would walk around, and it's just so fun because you get to see how different people live, or what their habits are, or what their environment is like, because every neighborhood has such a different feeling to it. If you live in a city, go out to the country. If you live in the country, go out to the city. I mean, just really opening your mind to different ideas. And the more that you expose yourself, whether it's through a book or travel or day trips, your mind expands and it keeps your life interesting. No matter what your age, you can do this. And I love that that is one of his commitments or knowings of the way people stay healthy well into their older years. And I would say that I feel very fortunate in that I had some good role models in my life. I had an uncle who was 91 and started a business. My father was somebody who also was very interested in different things. He was a reader, he loved to travel. So I did get that exposure in my own childhood, and it also was something that I developed myself, and I still love to continue to discover things in my practice, and I love to support my clients to do that. And I know that when my clients are developing things within themselves that they didn't think they had time for, or that they had put to rest and forgot about and bring back to life, how much more enthusiasm for their life they have. And I see it with my clients who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It doesn't matter. So this cultivating your curiosity is so vital to your well-being. And the last thing that he talks about really is staying connected. And I know how true this is. And they have done, there's a blue zone study that was done for research that was done on people who are living to over 100, and what makes them be able to live till over 100 and be well and healthy. And all these things that Andrew Weil is talking about is something that they are doing. And the last thing is being connected to community, and whatever that looks like for you. It can be family, it can be friends, it can be through mentoring, it can be through 12-step communities, it can be through spiritual communities, churches, synagogues, whatever it is that speaks to you, your where you live community, your hobby community. But the more that you expose yourself and keep yourself connected to people through conversations, the more you keep yourself engaged, interested, and really vital in your own life. And I'd say also, as you're vital in your own life, you're making a difference in those people's lives that you are part of. And that can shift and change at any stage of your life. So I would love to hear what you are taking away from this, what you currently incorporate of these 5 things, or what you want to step up on. And I'd love to see you, have a conversation with me, and really let me help you narrow down how these things can be more fully developed for you, so you do feel that sense of connection, aliveness, and vital commitment to yourself that you so deserve, because I know how easy it is to get sucked up into other people's agendas, and before you know it, you have lost yourself. So this is the invitation to reconnect to you. Thank you for being with me on Say Yes to You and Why You Don't. For women, great. It's saying yes to others. Not always is great. It's saying yes to themselves. I am Claudia Braun, mindset, lifestyle, and EFT coach for women ready to start saying yes to themselves. I look forward to being with you next week. Bye for now.